Then everyone can tuck their bottoms under and feel that lengthening through the back of the waist. And then draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. And allow the back of the neck to be long, tucking the chin in slightly, head comfortable and balanced on top of your spine, and allow the eyes to gently close. So that we can take this time to quieten, to center, guiding your awareness inwards, leading your mind to your breath. And as you take your awareness to your breathing, watching your in-breath and out-breath, and giving yourself this time, this space. Settle your mind on the quiet, gentle pattern of your breathing. And observe particularly your out-breath. So let your awareness be with your exhalation. And as you breathe out, feel that you can begin to let go. As you breathe out, all the muscles of your body softening and your mind releasing. Feel the back of your body resting down on the ground. And as you breathe out, let your back soften. As you picture the back of your waist easing and lengthening. As you breathe out, your shoulders, arms, hands are soft. As you breathe out, your head, neck, and face are soft. So with every out-breath, finding a release, a softening, a letting go, leaving you calmer, quieter, more centered. So we begin now to stretch and contract the muscles that we use to breathe. As you keep your awareness with the breath, beginning to think a little more of the in-breath. And as you breathe in, breathing in more deeply. As you breathe in more deeply, taking the breath down to the bottom of your lungs. So your awareness with the in-breath, breathing in more deeply and taking the breath down to the bottom of your lungs. As you breathe out, draw the abdomen in. Let the muscles release with the next in-breath. With the out-breath, drawing the abdomen in towards the back of the waist. With the in-breath, letting the muscles relax. So as you work with the breath in this action, at the end of each out-breath, drawing the abdomen in towards the back of the waist and a little more up underneath the ribs. Muscles releasing with the in-breath. So with the out-breath, we draw the abdomen in and up. And with the in-breath, letting those muscles release. So abdominal breathing, your awareness is with the breath and the abdomen. And as you continue to work with the breath and the abdomen in this way, take your awareness to the pelvic floor. As you breathe out, scooping the pelvic floor muscles inwards and upwards. As you draw the abdomen in and up. Muscles releasing with the in-breath. So with the out-breath, pelvic floor and abdomen drawing inwards and upwards. With the in-breath, muscles release. So your focus is now with your breath, abdomen, and the pelvic floor. And as you continue to work in this way with the breath, the abdomen, and the pelvic floor, please bring your hands to the sides of your ribs so that your hands cup your body around the ribs, so that as you breathe in now, breathing into the hands, ribs expanding and opening outwards. And with the out breath, the hands drawing in against the ribs. So breathing in, into the ribs, hands expanding and opening outwards. And with the out breath, the hands in with the ribs. Stretching, releasing the muscles around the lower ribs. Breathing more deeply, more strongly. Being aware of the back of your ribs, resting down on the mat. And know that you can breathe into the back of the ribs as well as the sides. So stretching, opening all around the lower ribs. And as you continue to stretch and open around the lower ribs, start now to take the breath a little further by breathing into your hands, opening and then breathing in some more, filling the lungs all the way to the top, stretching and opening the muscles of the upper chest, the upper ribs. And as you breathe out, breathing out fully. And a little more, drawing in your hands, abdomen, and the pelvic floor. So now working with a complete, deep, full breath, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top with each inhale, emptying the lungs fully with each exhale. Taking this time to recharge, to re-energize. Breathing strongly and deeply and fully. As you feel the expansion all around your body, the back, the sides, as well as the front. And so continue to work in this way with a full lung breath, breathing into the back, the sides, and the front. And you can let your arms and hands come back to a more comfortable position so that we can begin to direct the breath, to control the breath. And we do that by breathing in for your own count of 2, and lengthening the out breath by breathing out for your own count of 4. So set up your own rhythmic metronome type count, breathing in for 2 counts, breathing out for 4. Rhythmic breathing, consciously lengthening the exhalation. After your next out breath, breathing in for 2, pause the breath in for 2 counts before breathing out for 4. So breathing in for 2 counts, pausing the breath in for 2 counts, and breathing out for 4. Know that it's fine for you to stay at this stage, or it's fine for you to come back to any of the earlier stages. If all is well and you're happy to continue, at the end of your next out breath, draw the abdomen in, lift the pelvic floor, and hold the breath out for a count of 4. So breathing in for 2 counts, holding the breath in for 2 counts, breathing out for a count of 4, and holding the breath out, lungs empty for a count of 4. 2, 2, 4, 4. This is known as the 4-part breath. Inhale, hold the breath in. Exhale, hold the breath out. And as a final stage, we use our arms to deepen the movement of the breath. So with the next in-breath, you can stretch your straight arms straight up towards the ceiling and down to the floor behind you, holding your arms there as you hold the breath in. And when you're ready to breathe out, more slowly lowering your straight arms back to your sides and holding your arms there as you hold the breath out. Ribs expand and open as your arms stretch up and back. Breath flows from your body as you lower your arms back down. Lungs fill from the bottom to the top with each inhale. Experience the fullness in the lungs as you hold your breath in. And letting the breath flow from your body as you lower your arms back down. And experience the emptiness in the lungs as you hold the breath out. And after your next held out breath, when your arms are back down by your side, you may let go of your breathing practice and your count, taking your time to come to that place. And as you do so, be aware of feeling calmer, quieter, more centered. Have one block nearby. Can you all see me all right? Or just give me a thumbs up, or shall I put the light on? It's okay, not too dark. Okay. Good, so we're going to stand in Tadasana, feet apart, hip distance apart, toes facing forwards. Lift the toes, spread them out. Imagine you can push your fingers down in between your toes, spread them out. You might try and spread your fingers out as well and see if that encourages your toes spread out a bit more. If we're ladies, I don't know if they do it for men, but when we go to have a pedicure done and have the nails painted, they quite often put toe separators in. So we want that feeling of having those separators between our toes, really stretching the toes apart, stretch your fingers apart as well. Good. Now keep the toes lifted and feel that you can shift your weight forwards in the front half of your feet, almost as if the heels were about to lift up, but they don't. Maybe they do for you, they don't for me. Really keep those toes lifted and press into the pads of the feet. Good. Keep that stretch going, keep that stretch going, keep the toes lifted. Weight forwards in the balls of the feet. And then we're slowly going to release the toes down, keeping them spread out. And then raise the heels from the floor. And feel how much more balanced you feel with the toes spread out. As you exhale, lower the heels down and bend the knees. As if you're sliding the back of your body down an imaginary wall. So we're not tipping forwards, we're rising up with the inhale. Weight comes forwards, toes are still spread out, heels lift. As you exhale, heels touch down, keeping them light, knees bend. So small, micro, controlled movements. Waking up all the muscles in the feet, the ankles, the calves. Good. We're going to hold the toe balance. Fix your gaze to a small, to a still point on the floor somewhere in front of you. And we'll take 3 shoulder rolls. Forwards, up, back and down. And know that wobbling and falling out is a good indicator of being in a very bold place. So if you do fall out, don't berate, congratulate. Good. And then as the arms come back to your sides, spiral them open. As you exhale, lower the heels down, keeping them light, bend the knees. And as you bend the knees, we can sweep the arms forwards. Take them all the way up and reach one arm up, reach the other arm up, reach both the arms up. Spiral the wrists, spiral the upper arms, circle the arms back and down. Good stuff. And again, see if you can bend the knees a little more. Keep the shoulders over the hips, taking the arms all the way up. Reach, lift. Both the hands extend up as if you're pulling your rib cage up and out of your waist. Circle the wrists, spiral the upper arms. Take the arms out, back and down. Beginning to feel the heat building up in your thighs as we take the arms forward, sit back a little more, or not sit back, but bend the knees a little more. Really feeling those thigh muscles. Last time. Reach, lift, lengthen, spiral, circle, stretch back and down. Good. Take the arms forwards, hold. And now we're going to bend the knees and sit back. So you take your bottom back. I'll turn sideways. So whereas we were here, we now go back, sit back. Imagine your bottom coming to a low stool behind you. Hug your belly in, hug the pelvic floor in. Feel the power in your legs. As you breathe in, lift the arms. Maybe sit back a little more, lift the arms a little more. Good. As you inhale, rise up. Come onto the toes. Spiral the wrists, the upper arms, back and down. As the arms come down, heels lower, knees bend. We sit back. Sweep the arms close to the floor and we'll connect all those movements together in the breath. Inhaling, rising up. Spiraling the wrists at the top, circling the arms back and down. Heels lower, knees bend. Before you sit back, sweep those arms along the floor. Good, one more. Controlled movements, heels lift, good. Spiral the arms, the wrists. Last one, heels lower, knees bend, sit back. Good, and pause here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. Ooh. Give your arms and legs a shake out. Feel that energetic change. Heart rate elevated? Yes, mine is. Oh, superstar if yours is not. Good. So we're going to do some more spinal movements before we change tact. So hands on the hips, shoulders roll back and down, making sure that your block is nearby. Weight forwards, toes spread out. Heels are on the floor but light. And we breathe in, picture the breath rising up from your belly button to the top of your lungs. And breathe out, Same, draw the abdomen in, pull up the pelvic floor, feel your ribs drawing in. So the whole core area, front, sides and back is engaged and supporting us. And again, inhaling. And as you exhale, side bend to your right. Good. Just going as far. Imagine you're against a wall, you're simply sliding down the wall. So not coming forwards, not pushing back. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling over to the other side. Good. Once again, back to the center. Feel the movement coming from the spine, just where your ribs are, where the waist is, this sort of area here. Good. Back to the center, over to the other side. Let your head follow your body, so we're not letting the head hang down. Back to the center. Okay. Inhale here, nice big breath. As you exhale, hug the abdomen, pelvic floor in and up. We go over to the right, we pause there. We shift the weight into the left foot. Feel your right leg becoming light, almost weightless. Press down into the ground with your left foot. Good. Release the left hand, spiral it round, reach it up. Good. Lift, reach and lengthen here from the left foot all the way to the left fingertips. Keep that right shoulder soft. Now, as you exhale, you might go deeper into your side bend. As you inhale, you might ease off a little bit. As you exhale, you might go a little deeper. As you inhale, you might ease off a little bit. So with each out breath, going a little deeper. And then once you're there, maybe staying. I know it looks like my hip has dropped, but that's just my t-shirt. It hasn't actually dropped. So the hips are still upright, still facing forwards. Good. Now keep the body where it is. Bring the arm to the upright, more upright, palm facing forwards. We're going to take a little turn. Let that arm move into space behind you. So if I were to turn sideways, I'm in my side bend, arm is upright, the arm moves into space behind you. So the left shoulder opens up towards the ceiling. And sometimes it's nice to keep the gaze forwards, and at other times it's nice to take the chin up towards the ceiling and maybe look towards your top thumb. Now, as you breathe in, bend that left elbow, turn the palm towards the ceiling, and imagine you're pushing that heavy ceiling up. Activate the bicep muscle. As you exhale, come back to the center, head and arm back to your side. Good. Cool. Inhale up the body. Exhale, abdomen, pelvic floor engaged. I'm going to side bend over to the left side. Good. Now shift the weight into the right foot. So really pressing down into the ground with the right foot. Left leg almost becomes light as air. Release the right hand. Spiral through the wrist, the elbow, the upper arm. Reach the fingers away and take the arm up. Good. As you exhale, you might go a little deeper. Inhale, you might ease off. Exhale, go a little deeper. Inhale, ease off. Imagine you're sandwiched between two panes of glass. You're literally swinging to one side, one half of a pendulum. The next time you go over, pause there. Wherever you go, maybe bring your hand. So let's turn your palm to face the direction you're side bending. So turn your palm towards the cues, to the sticks. Yes, okay, yes, that's it. Sorry, I couldn't tell. I thought your palm was facing the other way. That's it. Okay, now we keep the body where it is and we have a look at the screen if you can. Bring your arm to a more upright feeling. Even look at your own arm. Turn the gaze up. So your arm is directly vertical. And then we can have this feeling of dropping the arm into space behind you. Abdominals, pelvic floor muscles engaged. And as you breathe in, bend the elbow, turn the palm towards the ceiling, push the ceiling up and away, activate the biceps. And on the exhalation, head comes back to the center, arm comes back to your side. Fantastic. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, turn the ribs to the right, keep the hips forwards. So a little wringing out action. Ease back through the center. And then hips stay forwards, turn your upper chest, maybe your chin over to the other side. So it's a gentle wringing out action, rebalancing the body. Inhaling back to the center. Excuse me. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. And as you exhale, take the shoulders behind you, take your elbows behind you, slide your hands somewhere to the back part of your body. They may rest on your buttocks, they may be on your hips. Check that the weight is forwards in the balls of your feet. Keep the heels down. As you inhale, drop the chin to the chest, but lift the chest up to meet the chin. Pull the shoulders back and down with the exhale. So that's all we're doing for this first stage. Inhale, we're sort of blowing up the chest like a balloon. And with the exhale, just easing, feeling your shoulders moving back and down a little. Good. Keep the chin low to begin with. One more breath. Inhaling, lift the chest. Exhaling, shoulders back and down. Good. Now we're going to inhale, lift the head back to a more upright position. Being aware of those natural curves in the spine, we ease the body upright. Weight forwards in the balls of the feet, soften the knees so they're not locked. We hinge from the hips through quarter forward fold into half forward fold. Keep the hands where they are, keep the shoulders pulling back, elbows moving towards each other behind you. As you come to half, know that we're going to bend the knees in a moment. So the legs are straight, but have the knees soft, you don't want them locking. Inhaling, lengthening through the front and the sides of the body. And as you exhale, picture your tailbone turning away. Inhale, lengthening through the back and sides of the body. Exhale, tailbone turning away. Inhale, abdomen, pelvic floor engaged. We're going to rotate the other way, lifting or unhinging from the hips. Coming back to a more upright position. Good. So now we know what it feels like to have length in our back body. You can bring your hands back to a more comfortable place on your hips. I'm going to inhale up the body. Exhale, draw the abdominals, pelvic floor in and up. We're going to hinge forwards once again. Hinging the upper body at the hips, keeping that length in the front, sides and back of the body. When we come to half forward fold, we can pause, take an in-breath. Feel that length once again in the back, sides and front of the body. As you exhale, picture your tailbone rotating away. Bend the knees, and as you bend the knees, tip the body further forwards. Bend the knees some more and tip the body forwards. And now I want you to consciously bend your knees and lower your hips. How often we bend the knees and let the upper body move forwards without really moving the hips. So I really want you to think about lowering the hips down, towards a very low stool behind you. Crown of the head is now diagonally reaching towards the floor ahead of you. Squash your tummy into your thighs, weight forwards in the front half of the feet. Release the hands, take your block, tall, reach it away, angle it as far away as you can, and then walk it to the upright. And as you walk it to the upright, imagine your bottom glued to a wall. So we're not leaning forwards, we're not tipping forwards. We keep the legs and the lower half of the body where it is. And we have that deep length through the sides of the body, through the armpits. Good. Fingertips on top of the block. Lift the wrists. Good. Knees deeply bent. Think about a low stool behind you. Rest your bottom on that. Good. Fantastic. Drop your ears between your arms. Breathe here. Breathe in and breathe out. Fantastic. Keep shifting the weight in the front half of your feet. Good. Now, if all is well, your bottom is glued to that imaginary wall. Imagine sliding your bottom up that wall, inch by inch. Feel the power in that front leg. We worked towards strengthening those thigh muscles. And now we use that to open and stretch through the back. Keep breathing. Keep the length in the front, back, and sides of the body. As you breathe in, bend the knees, release that stretch. Slide your bottom back down your imaginary wall to that low stool. Walk your right hand to the center of the block, left hand to the outside of the right leg. Bend your elbow, draw your body down and through under your right arm. Good. So twisting under your right arm, forward bending, weight forwards, turning the body, a lot going on, using every muscle in your body, keeping connected to the body by focusing on your breath. Feel that your right shoulder moves up towards the ceiling. If I was there, I would put my hand on your right shoulder and encourage it to turn upwards towards the ceiling. Your left shoulder is pulling down towards the floor. Imagine stacking your shoulders one on top of the other. Well done, stay with the breath. If all is well, you can have a little play around with your sit bones and begin to slide them up. You might feel it crampy in your calves. That's perfectly normal. It's the calves that are beginning to come into play because the hamstrings don't want to stretch, so the calves come in and so we get cramp in the calves. Good. One more breath, and as you breathe out, bend the knees, spiral back to the center, release that stretch. Think of your body against the wall. So we're not really moving, we're just bending the knees, sliding the bottom back down the wall, length through the front sides of the body. And I'm afraid we have to go to the other side. So bring the right hand to the center of the left hand to the center of the block. Take your right hand to the outside of your left ankle. Bend the elbow, draw the body, hug it closer to the legs, and then turn. Lift the left shoulder, pull the right shoulder down. Imagine stacking the shoulders one on top of the other. When you found your twist, then you can begin to slide your sit bones up your imaginary wall. Just be with the breath. As you breathe in, bend the knees. Spiral back to the center, both hands to the block. Good, lift the chin, lift the chest. Weight forwards in the balls of the feet. And then we're gonna release the hands to the floor in front of the block. Good. And then just work towards sliding your sit bones up your imaginary wall, working towards straightening the backs of the legs, keeping the front of the body in contact with the front of the thighs. So not looking to straighten the legs completely. Almost as if you were flying your heels up. You want lightness in the heels. Good. As you breathe in, bend the knees. Walk your hands towards your feet. Bring your hands back to your hips. Lift the chin, lift the chest. Unhinge the body in the same way that we came in. Knees bent. Oh. And straightening the legs. Giving yourself a good old shake out. All right, so nice passive stretching there, strengthening. We're going to go into a little bit more dynamic work and do some flowing sun salutations, combining all of those movements together. We've lost Liz, but we'll get started. So standing at one end of your mat, on top of your mat, so that you've got room to step back. So maybe come to the top end or turn to face the other way, it doesn't matter. That's it. I know that you know what you're doing. I can see the majority. Good. So right at the top of your mat so that you can step back. Good. So we're in Tadasana. Palms are facing forwards in front of you. We breathe in up the body. We breathe out. We engage the abdominals and the pelvic floor. We breathe in, take the arms up, take the gaze up. Feel your shoulders drop back and down. As you breathe out, bring the elbows in front of you. Bend the knees, sit back. Fold over through the various stages. Body-thigh contact. This time the hands come to the floor near your feet. Knees bent, bottom on a low stool. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Lift the chin, lift the chest. My fingertips then come to the floor. Sometimes you can hold on to the front of your shins if the fingertips don't quite reach the floor. Now, as you exhale, we're going to place the palms on the floor by bending the knees even more. Feel that you're transferring some weight into your hands. Just like we did with the legs earlier, we feel some body weight moving down through the shoulders and the arms into the hands and into the floor. We can then lift the left foot and stretch it behind. Lower it to the floor, tuck the toes under, wriggle it away as far as you can. Good, and then bring the back knee to the floor. Good, so you've got a nice angle between your hips and your back leg. Good, hands can be on the floor. If they don't quite reach and you've got a block nearby, you can always place your hands on a block. So what we want to do now is to pull the shoulders back, bring the chin and the chest forward so we have that length in the spine. Drop your hips down a little. Good. And then as we breathe out, we can move the bottom back. You want to feel as if, sorry, I just need to get a blanket for my knee. You want to feel as if you've got a belt around your waist and that a naughty kid has got hold of your belt and is pulling you back. The hands stay where they are. And then as you exhale, we come forwards again. The front of the hips drop towards the floor. Long chest, long spine. If the toes are untucked, tuck them under. Lift that back knee, lift the hip. And then we can find room to take the right leg back to join the left foot. And we find ourselves in downward dog. Good. Adjust your foot position to your measure. So you would know by now whether your feet need to step a bit closer or step a bit further back. And then we work towards walking the dog, bending one knee, stretching the other ankle and heel into the mat. And today, as you walk your dog, I'd like you to focus on your hips and exaggerate the hip movement, side to side. Almost as if you're lifting one hip up, dropping the other hip down. Good, come to a still place, bend both the knees. See if you can draw your tummy a little closer to your thighs. And then think about your sit bones turning away, lifting up, opening the backs of your knees to float your heels down to the floor. We come into our perfect downward dog. Good, take a breath or two here. As we breathe in, come high onto your toes. Slide the shoulders forward so we roll into a high plank. Lower the knees to the floor. Bend the elbows. Lower the chest and the tummy to the floor. Good. All the way down. Inhale, rise up. Baby cobra. Use the muscles in your back that we worked with earlier. Feel the back muscles engaging to lift your chest away from the floor. It might just be a little bit, but you can feel it in your back muscles. Breathe. As you exhale, lower the chest to the floor. Release that work. Tuck the toes under. And as we breathe in, we're going to push up. We're going to use the elbows to push up. Use the hands against the floor. So I want you to think about your head, chest, tummy, hips, and bottom, lifting as one. Push up. Oh, good. Back into our supported plank, knees on the floor. And then we're going to push the heels away to raise the knees from the floor, back into high plank. And as you exhale, squeeze your abdomen, pelvic floor, lift your sit bones up and back into your down dog. Fantastic. Take a breath or two here. Know that it's fine to pedal your legs or to be in your perfect down dog, whatever that looks like for you. As you breathe in, we're going to take the gaze forwards. Knees are bent and take baby steps along your mat towards your hands. Good. Fingertips on the floor, knees bent, bottom back, chin and chest lift, half lift, nice long spine. Bend the knees, lower the bottom. And then we release the hands and come up. Unhinge the body from the legs. Rising up into Tadasana. Exhale, hands down through the heart center and back to your side. Good, well done. Take it to the other side. Inhale, breathing all the way up the body. And exhale, elbows bend in front of you, knees bend, bottom low, hinging forwards, hinging forwards, hinging forwards. Hands come to the floor, being on your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, place the palms firmly on the floor. If you need blocks, you can always place blocks under your hands. You want to feel that you can transfer some weight into your hands so that the legs become lighter, and you can lift the right leg, stretch it back, and then lower it to the floor, tucking the toes under, and then wriggling the right foot as far back as you can. And then bringing the right knee down. Good. Lowering the front of the hips to the floor, lengthening the spine, pulling the shoulders back, chest and chin, gaze forwards. Now we want to keep that length in the spine. I prefer to untuck my back toes as my naughty child pulls on my belt and draws my hips back. Try and keep your hands where they are. Try and keep the chest and the chin lifted as opposed to rounding the back and dropping the chin into the chest. So we really allow the piriformis muscle around our glutes to open. The right side of the glute is strengthening, left side is opening. And then with the next in-breath, we gently glide forwards. Chin and chest lift. Feel the fluidity. Having already strengthened and moved our spine this way and that way, we've got that fluidity. Good. Tuck the back toes under. Push the heel away to lift the knee. Same action as in plank. Lift the hips slightly so that we've got room to take that left leg back and place it down next to the right, and find yourself in your sort of upside down V shape. Perhaps stepping your feet a little forwards. Check that the feet are still hip distance apart, and then begin to walk your dog on the spot. Bend one knee, opposite heel stretches into the mat. It should be nice and easy now. And then begin to take that movement into the hips. So really ease your hips from side to side as you bend the opposite knee. Good. And then come to a still place in the center, knees bent, heels lifted. Draw the chest and the tummy into the thighs. And then as you exhale, lift the sit bones and work the heels towards your mat. They may or may not get there, but you feel that lovely stretch through the back legs. Length through the back and the sides of the body, abdomen, pelvic floor drawing in and up. Inhale, take the gaze forwards. Roll the shoulders forward so that the shoulders come over the wrists. We come into a high plank. Engage the core muscles. Knees come down. Keep the core muscles engaged. Bend the elbows. Lower the chest and the chin and the tummy to the floor. Good. Inhale. Engage the back muscles. Lift up into cobra. Hands don't move, they stay where they are. Exhale, lowering the chin and the chest down. Set up to push up. So tuck the toes under, engage the muscles around the shoulders, the biceps, the triceps. Toes tucked under, engage the core area. Remember at the beginning I said the core is all around the front, the sides, the back. So draw the abs in, pelvic floor in, draw the ribs in, squeeze your buttocks, and use that as a powerhouse to push yourself up on the next in-breath. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Good. Knees on the floor. Push the heels back, coming into plank. Core muscles are strongly engaged. We're going to squeeze them even more as we lift the bottom up towards the ceiling, straight up, and then back. Good. Into your downward dog. Feel free to walk your dog. Feel free to be still, whatever works for you. Last in breath, looking to the space beyond your hands, bend your knees, and then walk towards your hands. Good. As your feet come in between the hands, bend the knees, lower the bum, lift the chin, lift the chest. Nice half lift. Good. Release the hands, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through the heart center and release. Okay, we're going to make our way to the floor in a working fashion. So inhale the arms up, weight forwards in the balls of the feet. As you exhale, fold. Bend the knees, lower the hips, bend the knees, lower the hips. Let the fingertips come to the floor. As the fingertips come to the floor, slide your feet a little further apart. Good. Now lift the chin, lift the chest. And we're simply going to bend the knees and lower the hips down in the space that we've created between our legs, coming into a squat. Fantastic. Good, so the knees are wide, a little wide. You can just drop the bottom down. You want to feel the weight of your hips just dropping down, dangling down. Have a little bounce here. See how that feels. You can have your hands on the floor, it's fine. Well done. And then from here, we're just going to let those sit bones touch down. You can use your hands on the floor. You can have your hands on the floor. And then step the feet forwards. And bring them back closer together. Maybe let the ankle joints and the knee joints touch. If you have your hands on the front of your shins, you can pull your chest forwards. So you're sitting right on the top of your sit bones. Bring those knees together, John, or squeeze a block between your knees. Good. That's it. So that will encourage you to push your knees together, otherwise the block will drop. Good. You can have your hands on the back of your thighs. Shoulders back and down. You might feel brave and have your hands forwards. As we roll on our sit bones, back and down, inch by inch. We've done some ab work, abs are nice and warm, so they'll come into play here. Pause when you get about halfway, gaze forwards, inhale, reverse your roll. Feel that movement in your upper half of your buttocks and your hips. Good. Squeeze the abdominals, the pelvic floor. As you breathe out, we roll back down. Halfway. Well done. Good. Pause here. Hold for a breath. Then continue to roll another little bit. Hold for another breath. It's not easy for me. And then roll back down. Roll back down with control. Last thing to touch down is your head, and then finally your arms. Have the palms of the hands facing up. We're going to do one last little bit of work before we go into our releasing stretches. So if you've got the block between your knee, that's great. We want the feet on the floor, knees bent, which is how we came down. Good. Exhale, draw the abs, pelvic floor in and up. Lengthen through the back of the waist, send the tailbone away. Inhaling, I'm going to press into the feet, lift the hips. Think about a ruler from the back of your neck to the back of your knees. Nice long straight line. Exhaling, releasing the back of the body down again. Good. And once again, inhaling, keep that abdominal control as you press into the big toe sides of the feet to lift the front hips, raising the back of the whole body away from the floor. Exhaling, lowering back down. Once again, inhaling to lift, core muscles engaged, squeeze the buttocks, squeeze the backs of the thighs. We stretched and stretched them, now we strengthen them, holding them here as you circle your arms along the floor like snow angels, taking them into the space above your head. Squeeze the buttocks, lift the front hips a little more. As you exhale, lower your arms back to your sides. Good. Inhale, circling the arms up, pressing into the balls of the feet, squeeze the backs of the thighs, the buttocks, lift a little higher. Even just a feeling of is great. Holding there as you lower your arms, circling them back to the floor. One more time. Inhale, think about snow angels. Arms move along the floor. Good. Squeeze the buttocks. Lift the hips. Exhaling, circling the arms back down. And as you inhale, lower the back of your body down to the floor. Wonderful. Take the arms to shoulder height, palms facing up. Wherever the knees are, wherever the feet are is fine. Just roll the knees to the floor to your right. Good. Think about windscreen wipers. We're going to inhale back to the center, rolling across the backs of your buttocks and over to the left on your exhalation. So moving with the breath, inhaling back to the center, exhaling over to the right. One more time, back through the center, over to the left. Feet stay where they are. Good. And this time as you go over to the right, you can pause there. You might turn your head towards the left. And then you might play around with your left arm position. You might take it up closer towards your ear, just so that you feel that length and release through the whole side of the body. As you inhale, let the head come back to a central place. Ease your knees to be upright. Just checking in with your spinal alignment. Check that you're still straight. Tuck your bottom under. And then as you breathe out, roll your knees to the left. Pause. Let your head turn to the right. And then just play around with your arm position so you get the deepest possible stretch and release for you. You might prefer to have your arm higher up. You might prefer to have it lower down. If your shoulder is lifted and your arm is hanging in space, that's okay. Just with each out breath, focus on releasing through that shoulder. Let the weight of your arm draw the shoulder down with each exhale. With your next in-breath, you can ease the head back to the center. Arms come back to a more comfortable place, knees come to the upright. And just lift the feet gently and draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around the shins and rock gently from left side to right side, from right side to left side. See if you can rock along the whole length of your spine, as if you're giving your back a massage against the floor. I could probably go on and do this for 15, 20 minutes. I love this. But sadly, when you've had enough, then release your legs, take them away. Find yourself in your Shavasana, your relaxation position. You might extend your legs and let the feet fall out to the sides. You might prefer to keep your feet on the floor with the knees rolling in and resting against one another. Your arms may rest on the soft part of your belly, or you might let your arms be a little distance away from your upper body, palms facing the heavens. Drawing the chin in, lengthening through the back of the neck. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. And let your eyes gently close. And as the eyes close, we can just take a moment to observe how we feel. And as we've moved this way and that way, we've stretched and opened, we've made space within. Feel that space within. We've worked with strength, we've worked dynamically, we've moved with the breath. We've worked to move the mind and the body as one. We've created energy or prana. Now we can let that prana flow through the spaces within our body. And the movement of energy within you might feel like softness or openness in some or all of your body. It might feel like tingling or heat. However you experience that flow and movement of energy, just be aware of how easy it is for you to relax, to let go. Let your awareness drop into your breath. Notice particularly your out-breath, and let the out-breath be a breath of relaxation. So as you breathe out, feel all the muscles of your body soften and your mind happily let go. As you breathe out, all the muscles of your body relax and let go. Take your awareness to your feet. As you breathe out, let your toes relax. Become aware of the spaces between your toes. The tops of your feet, the soles of your feet, and your ankles relax. The relaxation flows upwards through the legs, the lower legs, knees, the upper legs. The relaxation flows through the hips, the pelvic area soft and open. As you breathe out, the whole of your legs and hips totally relaxed. The relaxation flows gently upwards through the front of the body. Your abdomen, ribs, chest relaxed. Your breath easy and gentle. And as you feel the front of the body soften and open, let your awareness be with the back. And as you breathe out, your back can relax. Muscles around the shoulder blades easing and softening. Shoulders releasing and letting go. As the relaxation flows through the arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers. The relaxation flows through to the fingertips. As you breathe out, your neck, head, and face relax. Picture the space opening, stretching out across your forehead. Muscles around the eyes soften, eyes still under their lids. Muscles around the mouth soft. Lips gently touching, teeth a little apart. Tongue and jaw relaxed, chin and throat relaxed. So now your whole body is as relaxed as it needs to be right now. Your breathing is easy and gentle, and your mind is peaceful and quiet. And you feel centered, balanced, open. And I invite you to bring to mind your intention that we set at the beginning of the class. Bring it to your mind and repeat it to yourself, allowing the seed that we've planted to be nurtured and nourished and bloom and burst forth and manifest within our life, today and every day. So now, having experienced your state of relaxation, yoga practice this morning, gently bring your awareness back to the space that you're in, to your body, to your breath. And as you allow your breath to deepen, encourage some movement into your fingers and toes, to your hands and feet. Moving your legs in any way, stretching your arms, easing your head from side to side. And eventually easing your knees from side to side, rolling across the back of your body so that you can roll over onto one side and ease yourself up to sit. Keeping the eyes closed if that's okay, so that we can take one final breath together. Bringing the palms of the hands together, allowing the thumbs to rest on the heartbeat. We chant the sound of Om on our next exhalation. Know that when we chant Om, we deepen that self-connection. We open and become more receiving to the connections in the world around us. Breathing in. Turning the corners of your mouth upwards as you bow your head towards your hands, your body towards the floor, so that we ground and close our practice with grace and gratitude. Namaste. Well, thank you very much. That was lovely for me. I hope it was as lovely for you.